Hey everybody, hope you're good. So my name is Abby if you're new around here, and if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. So in today's video I wanted to do my morning skincare routine. I don't think I've done one in a very long time, and truth be told, I haven't really switched up too many things. Some of the serums I've been using for a while are still in my morning skincare routine. It's just that sometimes I do choose to swap them out and use other things, just depending on my mood, because I do have so much skincare. So it's not to say the things I'm using are the things that you should use or you have to use. It's just the things I have that I rotate and I use when I feel like using them, and also depending on what my skin needs at the time. So for the most part, my skin has been pretty much level for a while, for a good few months now. We are in winter right now, so I do focus a lot more and I pay more attention to like hydration and just pay more attention to whether or not my skin feels dry. So I do definitely want to focus more on hydration and just sealing that moisture in and just making sure that my skin doesn't get dry. So in terms of history, my skin is naturally oily, so I don't necessarily look for that, that ultra glow a lot of people tend to like on YouTube. I do want my skin to look natural, not necessarily matte, but just, like a natural finish, not too shiny, not too dry. But most importantly, my skin has to feel hydrated and soft, and everything else that comes with that. Am I even in focus? Because of that, I do focus a lot more on using products that are oily skin or balanced / normal skin approved rather than dry skin. Having said that, I use tretinoin most nights, so because of that, that can trigger like dry skin, flaky skin on the bottom half of my face mostly. So sometimes I do like to top up on hydration, but that's more for my nighttime skincare routine. In terms of my morning skincare routine, I will show you the products I use. If you don't know, or if you're new to my channel, I do focus on a lot of affordable products. The majority of my products are affordable. I mean, yeah, actually everything in my skincare is affordable, so it won't break the bank. So if you want to know what I use, please do keep watching. So from what you can see in my skin, it is pretty much even now. It hasn't always been that way. I've worked quite hard. I've worked quite hard. I focused on hyperpigmentation scented products to make sure that my skin is where it's at right now. And yeah, being in my 30s, it's hard out here basically. I've been dealing with acne scars, hyperpigmentation in like my cheek area, and actually pretty much over my face, but more so in the cheek area and sometimes in my jaw / chin area, sometimes even like a little bit in the neck area as well. So because of that, a lot of the products I focus on do help with that, or at least are said to help with that. So that's what I've been using. So in the morning, I do use a bunch of different cleansers. I probably need to do an updated cleanser video. I did do one previously, so that will be in my skincare playlist if you want to check that out in terms of the cleansers that I've been using or that I recommend for my skin type. So in terms of the cleansers that I rotate in the morning, I will just grab them for you. So these days I have been rotating my both my CeraVe cleansers, the foaming cleanser and the SA smoothing cleanser. So SA is for salicylic acid. You would have heard about it if you are into CeraVe or if you have acne prone skin. So these two. And then I also went to Superdrug and I noticed they had a new facial wash from Simple. Not new, but I'm guessing, it's new to me anyway. This is the Simple Purifying Gel Wash, and it contains thyme, zinc, and witch hazel. It is pretty good. It's similar to, in terms of how hydrating it is, it's similar to the micellar face wash, which I love. I've been keeping that more for the nighttime these days. So this is the micellar facial gel wash, which is amazing. You need to have this regardless. So this I tend to use these days at night, but this one is the thyme, zinc, and witch hazel cleanser gel wash, whatever it's called. And what's weird about it is that it doesn't actually mention that I don't know, the consistency feels like it has like beads in there, but not those like beads that roll in the ocean. It just feels like it has like these tiny granules of something, and I can't see what they are. But I mean, if you've used this and you did also notice that, please do leave a comment down below, let me know. But yeah, I did Google to see if I could find it, but I can't find it anywhere. But in terms of the texture, it does feel like a scrub, but it's so fine. It's not a harsh scrub at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure it doesn't even like exfoliate in that way, but it just feels like it's like it's a bit granular. Yeah, I think that's that's how you describe it. And then I've also been using my Me Plus zinc cleanser. So this contains 1.5% zinc gluconate, and again, zinc is a really good option for acne prone skin. So these are like the cleansers I've been using in the morning. I just grab one, sometimes I even mix one. I like to mix the zinc and the salicylic acid cleansers just because zinc has the soothing properties and also fights the bacteria that does causes acne. And then we've got salicylic acid, which also cleanses deep within the pores and also fights bacteria. And both of them are very, very hydrating gel washes. They are so good. Like, I could literally wash my face and not have to do anything for a while before my face feels dry, if it does at all. So they're just really good. They're not stripping. None of these gel washes are stripping, so that's something I pay attention to now that I am older and I know better. It's not to do with age, it's more to do with just knowing what your skin should feel like, and it shouldn't feel that dry or tight. So if you have acne prone skin and your skin it still feels dry or tight after washing your face, you should probably change whatever you're using to wash your face. Previously I was using the Nip and Fab XXL salicylic fixed tonic. Contains 2% salicylic acid. I think it also contains witch hazel and a couple of other things, but you know, it's a good one. It's one of those OG brands. If you have acne prone skin and you're in the UK, you definitely have heard of Nip and Fab, and it's just yeah, it's a good option to have. I don't think I'll need to repurchase this once I've run through it, because I do have other better I have better toners that I can use. So this is one. What I've been using most recently in terms of like treatment cleansers that actually, you know, contain actives is the pumpkin and papaya enzyme daily exfoliator. I jumped back on this I think maybe 2 weeks ago. I've had a spare bottle in my stash, and I remember it was really nice when I first used it. So this is my second bottle, and it's from the Superdrug own brand Botanical Lab. They do have a bunch of other products in the range. This is what it looks like, and it is pretty good. It contains papaya enzymes, aloe vera, a blend of AHA and BHA acids. The AHA is malic acid, I think. I'm not sure what else, and I think the only BHA we know is salicylic acid. So yeah, so it contains a bunch of exfoliating ingredients that do help to resurface and like promote smoother skin. So I've been using this quite a lot. On days when I don't use this, like previously before I jumped back on this and realized it was a mustache, I was also using the Superdrug Me Plus BHA toner. This is just a simple 2% salicylic acid toner. And the reason I say I won't be using the Nip and Fab is because I do have this now, which is it has more enjoyable ingredients, less controversial, I want to say. It has a 2% salicylic acid that I need and not much else fluff. So this is the Me Plus BHA 2% salicylic acid toner. So I have been using this. So to be honest, between this and this, you know, I'm good. So those are like the treatment toners that I've been rotating. So I think today I'll use this one just so I can show you. I like it because it contains other ingredients apart from salicylic acid. I just put some on the cotton pad. I did just spray my face to keep it hydrated because I do tend to do my skincare routine as soon as I get out of the shower. And then, you know, moisturize, sunscreen, and that's me for the day. So I just... It's always good to, you know, switch the cotton pad around, and because I use tretinoin, I do find that this step actually helps, especially on nights or like mornings when I wake up and I have like maybe like the tiniest bit of like flaky skin. I use this process to kind of sweep that off because I don't really exfoliate my skin like physically in the morning. I just use my gel wash with my hand. So this cotton pad stage with the exfoliating like treatment toners is like a good step for me to kind of swipe off any leftover like dead skin cells from like the night before from using tretinoin. In terms of like the hydrating toners, which I use after the treatment toners, I like to go in with either of my 3 toners that I rotate, again based on my mood. Again, I love skincare, so I have options, and I love options, you know. Life is just better with options. If I can get that on a t-shirt, I will. So I have 3 toners that I use, 4 toners that I rotate rather these days. I have been using I'll show you what I've been using, so I'll show you what the options are. So previously I did a video on the Peptaronic toner. This is a hyaluronic acid and peptide toner. It's amazing. The only kind of, I want to say, red flag is like the fact that it contains fragrance, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it is a really hydrating toner. It contains 6 types of peptides, 5 types of hyaluronic acid, you know, so it's really good. If they could just take away the fragrance and cause less controversy, it would be amazing. It would be like the perfect thing for all skin types, because there's less chance of it being irritating. But I've used it and I haven't had a problem with like rashes or anything happening to my skin. So again, fragrance is probably a problem for those who have ultra sensitive skin. If you don't, I think you'll be fine. And then one I've also spoken about a lot on my channel is the Benton Deep Green Tea Toner. Again, it contains green tea as well as a bunch of other ingredients I can't remember off the top of my head. Do your research. But this is amazing. It's a K-beauty brand and you can get it all over now. It's a K-beauty that's now quite mainstream, I want to say. So I've been using this. Again, they're all very, very runny toners. This is, you know, this has got some body to it. It's quite like, you can see it, it's quite, I want to say viscous, is that the word? So yeah, so I've been using this. I probably have more history with this in terms of like, you can see how much I've used, and this is extremely affordable. Like, I think it's like, is it 300 ml of product? I can't remember because it doesn't say on here, but I think it's about 300 ml of product in here, which is amazing for the fact that it's hyaluronic acid and peptides, which goes to show that you don't need to spend a lot of money on anything hyaluronic acid because it is widely available. I love this. This is just hydrating. It is very runny, but it just gives you like just so much hydration. Another K-beauty brand. I actually did a small K-beauty haul video, which again will be my skincare playlist. And these 2 and another that I'm going to show you were on the list. So I dug this out of my box. I thought I've been sitting on it for quite a long time. Let me get it out and start using it. So this is my Aqua 5.5 toner, and it contains licorice. I think that's like the key ingredient. Licorice is meant to be a really good brightening ingredient. Of course, it contains a bunch of other things. Of course, I'm pretty sure it contains niacinamide, because these days what doesn't? It contains green tea as well, green tea extract, and it's just a very, very good balancing toner. On the instructions, it does say you can put it on a cotton pad. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You don't really need to. Sometimes I just apply it so I don't waste as much. When you apply toners to a cotton pad, you do kind of waste a little bit, but you know, it depends on what you want it to do. So I've been using this. I've probably used it up until like here, so I have used quite a bit of this. So I haven't used this recently because the 2 that I've been using most recently have been my Benton Deep Green Tea Toner and the Pyeongkang, I can't pronounce this, Pyeongkang Yo. Gosh, I probably butchered that name, but it's this. If you're into skincare, again, you would have heard of this brand. This contains like something veg extract, I want to say. I can't remember what the name of the actual vegetable is because everything is in Korean and some English as well. I can't remember what the name of the actual key ingredient in here is. I always forget, but I think it's milk veg extract, something like that. I'll put it on the screen. Love this. This has probably been the one I've been using most recently. Again, after using this for a while, I think I used it for like a month and a half or so, then I jumped onto this, and this is everything I will use for a while until I finish everything. But this has this is what I'll be using today, and it has a slightly thick consistency similar to this. I just put a little bit, and it's just so hydrating. keeps, and I can layer as well, it keeps my face really hydrated. What's different about this is that it sinks in so quickly. You can do multiple layers if you want. And like I said, sometimes I will go in with a Benton and then this. I'm just like, you know, in the mood. It depends on whether or not I'm in the mood for spoiling my skin, or if I just want a quick routine in the morning. So I use that. And you don't need to wait for it to like fully absorb before you go into your next step anyway. Yeah, so this is what I've been using, and I also love mixing the two. But previously I definitely was using the Aqua day in, day out. I used it twice a day, and I'm trying to like preserve it now for some reason, I don't know why. So those are the three toners I juggle in terms of hydrating toners, and then the treatment toners in terms of like the, you know, the acids are these two. I will basically use everything I know will work, because I'm trying to like just, you know, give my skin the best chance of healing and just making sure that it doesn't, yeah, just to give my skin a better chance of being even. And I feel like I'm nearly there. It's just a few areas that are still there. I feel like the rest of my skin is starting to brighten up quite a lot, but those really old hyperpigmentation marks are still there. But you know, they're not as obvious as they used to be, so I'm definitely very grateful for that. So in terms of serums, the way I apply my serums is just basically blending everything I know works together in my palm and applying it to my skin in one go. So I'm going to show you 2 or 3 serums, or 4 maybe, and those are what I use. And the reason I do is because they do work together. So when you have what do you call it, tyrosinase inhibitors. Tyrosinase is the enzyme, I think, that triggers melanin production. It's part of the whole process of triggering melanin production, and in our case, hyperpigmentation, when our skin experiences inflammation or some kind of flare-up. So tranexamic acid is what I love to use with alpha-arbutin and L-ascorbic acid as well. So the tranexamic acid serum I love to use is from Superdrug, from the Me Plus brand. I've talked about this a lot. This contains 2.5% tranexamic acid. And this is, you know, the OG, the ordinary alpha-arbutin 2% plus HA, which is hyaluronic acid. And lastly, I like to mix a little scoop of the Ordinary's L-ascorbic acid powder. This is the vitamin C, pure vitamin C powder. And I feel like I have to defend this powder, because so many people say, oh, you shouldn't use it, it's too this, it's too that. If your skin is used to using vitamin C and you don't enjoy, and you want a fresh batch of vitamin C every single day, and you don't enjoy any other vitamin C out there, especially if you've used other powders and they're really grainy and they don't dissolve and cause hot spots and irritation, yeah, use this. This is the finest. So it comes with this tiny scoop. I'll just put some on my hand. This is the finest vitamin C powder you will ever get on the market, period. And a lot of people don't mention this enough. I think my alpha-arbutin serum is nearly finished. But yeah, a lot of people don't mention this enough. And I've even heard, I think Dr. Dre talk about this. You know, she had very good points in terms of mentioning that, you know, it could cause hot spots if people don't use it properly, and, you know, really irritate people's skin. But to be honest, if you dissolve it into the palm of your hand, if you've used it, you'll know that it is not grainy at all. It literally dissolves in seconds. So I've just taken a scoop of I've taken a bit of the alpha-arbutin, and now I'm adding tranexamic acid. Also, furthermore, and here too, Dr. Vanita Rattan as well, she also mentions that in her formulation, although this is not anybody's formulation, in her formulation she definitely advises that you use different types of tyrosinase inhibitors, because obviously when they work together they work better, you have more of a chance. So tranexamic acid on its own is good, alpha-arbutin on its own is good, L-ascorbic acid on its own is good, but if you mix all three of them together, you have a better chance of, you know, brightening your skin and helping with the texture, hyperpigmentation, which is the key thing. So yeah, this is what it looks like, and it literally dissolves in like, I don't know, 5-6 seconds. This is literally the best vitamin C powder you can get. If you want to cheat and think you can get the vitamin C powders from like the health store, you're going to be really surprised that they don't dissolve. I've bought like 2 different types so far, and they've both been a loss basically because they haven't dissolved. This is so fine, it literally dissolves. You can't see anything, and it doesn't irritate my skin. If you're new to vitamin C, you might want to start on like a formulation of vitamin C that's more mild, and then work your way up, because this is pure L-ascorbic acid. But if you've been using those other ones and you haven't seen good results, try this, because it, like I said, it dissolves so quickly. Yeah, so you might want to try it and like combine it with something else that's also a brightening ingredient. I take it right up into my eyes. And because it's a water-based serum, I mean, it dissolves really quickly, and it feels slightly tacky on the skin, but this isn't the last step in my skin, so that's okay. So I've combined those 3 and I put it on my skin. And then another thing I do alternate is the Me Plus niacinamide serum as well. Sometimes I layer it on top of this mixture, and sometimes I just use it in place of the 3 that I've just used, you know, the alpha-arbutin, ascorbic acid and tranexamic acid concoction. I use niacinamide sometimes. If I just wanted like to be quick, I'll use that, but I tend to use that now more in my nighttime routine. So 2 other serums that I use. One is caffeine, and this is the Ordinary's caffeine solution. This one, funny enough, came with the black top, but usually all the Ordinary products come with the like a white pipette with the white top. This is the Ordinary's caffeine serum, and I use it for my under eyes. I didn't notice, or maybe I didn't know, that I had like some darkness in this eye. It kind of happened slowly over time, so now I've been using this for my eye area, and I also use it all over my face. The only reason I do is because just green tea being green tea, and the fact that it actually contains the active ingredient, like the part of green tea that you actually want, ECGC, Epigalli something, whatever it's called, it's like a really long name. It contains, EGCG, so that is meant to be a great product for helping with, I think, pigmentation as well. So I thought, why am I just using this on my eyes when I could use it on my face? So I take a little bit, and it's slightly thicker, can you see? It's slightly brown, so it's like a thicker gel formula. And I put some of my resveratrol and ferulic acid serum. So this is a great option because it works really, really well with vitamin C and with your sunscreen as well. Antioxidants are great as a way of helping fight against UV and pollutants in the air. They ultimately fight against the production of free radicals, which can be produced through UV and pollutants in the air. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So I can just combine the 2. And this resveratrol serum is oilier, so I like to lighten it up with the caffeine. Caffeine is more water-based, more gel-based, so I think it helps. But you can just use it on its own, and it will feel slightly greasy, so it's something you're not used to if you're oily skinned. But once I've put my moisturizer on, it's fine. And also, by the time you've gotten to this layer of the resveratrol and the caffeine, I mean, you've already got so many layers of like other skincare products on your skin that I don't expect this to sink in and do much work per se. It's more fighting on the surface area. The things I want to do work are the serums and, you know, the toners. Yeah, so those are the things I apply first because I want them to be closer to my skin. I think that's the theory behind the order that you apply your products. And then, you know, the oilier ferulic acid kind of sits on top, you know, does its thing, protects against UV and free radical damage. And then lastly, or second to last, I put my moisturizer on. I have 2 moisturizers, which are probably the only moisturizers I think I will ever need for a while, especially for daytime. So I've been using my CeraVe moisturizing lotion for dry to very dry skin. It's not really for dry to very dry skin. It's more for normal to oily skin. I just don't know how somebody with like dry skin can have enough hydration and moisture from this, because for me it's really good. So I don't want to say don't use it if you have dry skin, but you might need something else on top. I would definitely say that. And also I've been back on my Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors moisturizer. So I like to use this on days when I've like if my face feels like not particularly greasy, so if I know I'm going to use a moisturizing sunscreen or like a shinier sunscreen on top, because this is quite not matte, but it's quite matte, like a natural matte type of finish, then I know this will counteract that. And on days when I feel like, oh, you know, I've got like dry patches or whatever, I need more hydration, I'll use this. I've been using this for the longest time, and then I switched back to this most recently. But you can, I'll show you what they both apply like, just so you can see. The thing about this that I think a lot of people don't like in terms of the Ordinary moisturizer is that it doesn't rub in very, like, it's not the best formula. It kind of just stays on your skin for like a minute. Look at it. You'd never see moisturizer do this, but as it is now, once I've rubbed it in, once you work it in, just leave it and it will literally disappear, you know, before your eyes. So it's not like you need to rub it in until it disappears, but it does feel like it, you know, it takes a lot more time to rub in than it should. But once you've rubbed it into the amount that you think you need to, just leave it. It will literally disappear anyway. It's just like that. It's just that weird formula. I don't know what's in here, but it doesn't feel like it's applying properly when you're applying it. It's like you're moving product around, but it actually does sink in. And like I said, it's more matte than the CeraVe. So the CeraVe is like everything you want in a lotion. It sinks in immediately. It's very hydrating. I think it also contains, it does contain ceramides as well. So you can see it's a lot lighter in texture, but it has a little bit more shine than the Natural Moisturizing Factors. But what I've been doing a lot also is to mix them together, because, you know, together they do offer me the best of both worlds. And it also depends on the sunscreen I want to use as well. So I've just mixed both of them together, and they're great together or apart. If you mix the CeraVe with the Natural Moisturizing Factors, it makes it blend a lot more easily, and you don't have that issue of, you know, feeling like it's sitting on your skin. The CeraVe is just a lot more of a like more elegant formula, because it sinks in immediately and it performs like a normal moisturizer should. So yeah, I think with the Natural Moisturizing Factors it might catch some people off guard a bit because of the way it just kind of moves around, but it does sink in and it's extremely affordable. And it won't irritate your skin because it contains natural moisturizing factors which are naturally found in your skin. So it basically, you know, it imitates your skin. So because of that, it's less likely to cause any irritation because the ingredients are already recognized by your skin, are in your skin. So that's that. And my skin doesn't feel tacky or anything. It just feels really hydrated. So that's me. And then in terms of the last part, I will apply my sunscreen. And the sunscreen I've been using most recently is my Nivea Sensitive Sun Allergy Protection. I think it's the one, it might be the most recent video I have, but it'll be my sunscreen playlist. So this is what I'm using these days, but I'm not tied to any particular one. I just happen to really like it. What I love about it most is the fact that I can apply it over my eye area as well and it doesn't irritate. It's actually been proven and approved to be applied around the eye area, so it's really good. My camera stopped recording for a second there, so this is my sunscreen. So this is what my face looks like after application, and after like say 5-10 minutes, usually before I apply my makeup, if I'm going to apply my makeup, which I'm not because I'm working from home these days, I would, you know, normally let this set and blot any excess shine, and then start with my makeup application, which is, you know, first primer, maybe a setting spray, then foundation, concealer, and the rest. So yeah, so that's what I'll be using in terms of my skincare routine, and it's been helping a lot. I mean, I feel like I have shown you everything in my stash. It's not everything, it's just the things I've been using most recently. There is actually more, believe it or not. But if I was to say, you know, pick one, I'd definitely say, you know, don't go out and get all of these. If I had to pick one, I'd say get one cleanser for your morning skincare routine, whether that's a treatment cleanser or a regular gel cleanser. Make sure it's a hydrating cleanser, regardless of what it is. Maybe one toner, or two toners, I'd say. Maybe a treatment toner and a hydrating toner, so one of each. I'd say get two of these serums. I'd say the alpha arbutin and tranexamic together, or the alpha arbutin and the L-ascorbic acid powder. Or if you're feeling really fresh, get all three. I would always use these three together now, only because I know when you combine all, you know, different tyrosinase inhibitors and brightening ingredients together, they have more of a chance of helping your hyperpigmentation, and obviously they do other things as well. So I love those three, but if you had to choose, I'd definitely say get more than one, because one on its own isn't necessarily the most effective. So yeah, I'd say maybe 2 out of 3 of the tyrosinase inhibitors, you know, the brightening serums. And for me, because I am starting to like experience darkening, I am using the caffeine, but this is probably the only optional serum in this routine. The resveratrol and ferulic acid are powerful antioxidants that you need in your life, and also you need in conjunction with the vitamin C. So if you're using vitamin C, actually regardless, but they do work so well. Like resveratrol, vitamin C, and sunscreen are like the holy trinity. So good, so good. Vitamin C and resveratrol have both been proven to boost the effects of your sunscreen in terms of blocking UV light, and also obviously fighting free radicals. So I'd say definitely you want to try the resveratrol or try another antioxidant. But I guess if you are already using the green tea toner, you may not feel like you should have to get it. So I mean, with everything I've said, you know, take what you want from here and try whatever you feel you need to try. Yeah, you definitely don't need to use all of this. I use all of this because I have options and I love options, but you definitely don't need to. So that is everything I'm currently using. Of course, with the sunscreen, I have 1,000 sunscreens in my stash that I'm using and I'm trying to get videos out for. So check out my sunscreen playlist as well. It will be in the description box. Everything I'm using, if I can find links to them, will be in the description box. So please do shop through my links if you want to support my channel. If you like this skincare routine, please do give it a like. If you want to see more from me, you might want to consider subscribing. And while you're subscribing, hit the little bell so you get notified when I upload. So until next time, stay blessed. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye.